Okay, I want to thank everyone for coming today. My name is Bob Moran. I'm principal here at Washington High School, and this is our first large crane event for their new building. I understand the crane will be back probably 2 or 3 more times, and what they're doing today is they are beginning to put the second floor on our brand new science building. This science building was built with Measure E funds. It is going to be 10 classrooms, 6 science classrooms, and 4 regular classrooms. We are in great need of a new science building, and we are very grateful for the voters of Fremont for funding this bond for the students here at Washington High School. We're very proud today to have this opportunity. We have a lot of different kids and students out here in the audience, many with math and science interests, who want to pursue that kind of career in a post-secondary fashion once they graduate from Washington High School. So what we'd like to do, I'm going to be introducing the project managers here in a moment, but what we'd like to do is have students ask questions. This is an important learning experience. This is like when the classroom meets the real world, right? This is when you see how they actually are able to use math and science and actually make something this large and this impressive out of a model, and that's an incredible thing. So the first person I'd like to introduce from Vanner Construction Management is Paul Castilli.
Thanks, Bob. My name is Paul Castilli. I work with Vanner Construction Management. We're a consultant to the district to provide the program management services, and part of our role as a program manager is to work with the district at its inception of the project. So kind of figure out what the school needs. And for this one, it was pretty straightforward. We needed some science classrooms and regular classrooms, so that's what we're going to build. But sometimes it requires more of an in-depth assessment to figure out what is really the in-depth issues with the school and what the school needs, basically. And also we need to develop parity with other schools to make sure that what we're building here is matching like what we did at American, but not exactly matching, because there are improvements to be made from what we did at American as well. Another new classroom project we did. And another thing that we do is to help hire all the consultants, contractors. There's a ton of consultants and contractors that take to develop this project. We have, architects to design it, contractors to build it, construction managers to oversee the construction, which I'll be introducing in a moment here. But also really specialty consultants, commissioning agents to ensure the mechanical systems are working right. There's just a whole ton of consultants that goes into making a project like this. And this is part of the Measure E bond. The bond is a $650 million bond passed in 2014. It also includes IT upgrades that are district-wide. This school already got the IT upgrades, so you might notice that your internet and whatnot is faster recently. And then also there's middle school conversions going on and various modernization and new classroom projects going on throughout the district as part of this bond. And as far as what it takes to be a program manager, if you're interested in that at all, a degree in construction management, architecture, or civil engineering works. Also, we work with all these consultants so much, it helps to have experience working for a contractor, working for a construction manager, or an architect. So for now, I will hand it off to Roblin Construction Management. They are the construction managers, and this is Julio Hernandez, Senior Project Manager.
How's everyone doing today? All right. So Paul versus Julio. Paul is program management. They do all the projects for the bond, versus construction managers only do one project at a time. Okay, there we go. So that's really our role. I started doing construction management a long time ago, but our role as a construction manager is we are the district eyes out on the site. We take care of the scope, the schedule, the budget. We make sure that the contractor, you will be hearing a little while, make sure that they're doing the project and getting it done in a timely manner. My background, because I believe everyone in here has a different background. To get this project accomplished, there's probably 20 to 25 different fields that are involved on it. But my background is architecture. I have a degree in architecture. I've done a lot of construction management for private, technology, school work, construction, which is my favorite. Mainly because at one point I was like all of you here. I was watching you guys, watching me now. So it's really enjoyable, and in terms of careers in construction management, architecture, and some of the other people will talk to it too, it's really what you want to do. I mean, really, what is it that you want to do, and do you really want to do it? Don't just do it because someone is telling you to do it because you like it. And as far as that, what I'll say is, just remember this. If it is to be, it is up to me. Just keep that in mind. With that, I want to start talking a little bit about safety. We have you out here a little bit far away because that crane can do a lot of damage if it falls or does anything. As you can see, we closed the road because there's traffic that comes through here. This road is an emergency road, so we have to make sure that we always keep it open. So if an emergency happens, we're going to move all of you out of here very fast. The other thing is, I'm not as much into technology as a lot of you are, but technology is a big part in construction. I mean, the contractors here and the architects use anything from AutoCAD for design and drawing to a Revit program, which has to do again with building modeling, and there's also what's called building information modeling, which maybe the architect might talk a little bit more about that. We use telephones. Everyone nowadays uses the telephones, but these guys out here are actually using the phone as they're using that crane because the guys are working way in the back and the crane person operators over here. So there's quite a bit of it. There's a whole bunch of, I could spend half an hour just talking about all the different equipment that they use in technology. So you're going to see the crane swinging by to pick up another panel. A little bit about the crane. That crane is what's called a telescoping boom crane. It's 75 ton, or for those of you into metric, is 68.0 metric tons. The main boom that was swinging right now is 115 feet, and that's at 43 degrees. It has counterweights at the back of it, which essentially holds any load that's on the boom. It's holding it. That counterweight is about 12,000 pounds. The panels that they're lifting are about 8 feet by 12 feet, and they weigh about 1,000 pounds or less. So when you look at that crane as it's lifting that, I mean, it's not a heavy panel, but the farther it goes away, the less weight it can, versus the farthest up, the more that can hold. And that crane can hold maximum at that 115 feet, it can hold 3,500 pounds. So you could have essentially about a car. You could carry a car. So that's what they're doing. And so as you can see now, so someone blew a horn there. We may not have heard it, and that essentially told the operator to start lifting. Now he's lifting and he's listening to somebody who's got a phone on the other side instructing him where to go to. So it's and it has to be done one panel at a time. And they're going to work their way around the building, and then there's a hallway in the middle, and they're going to be working on that. Over the next week or so, you'll see that as you drive around, because a crane is going to be in here for quite a while. And then once they finish the wall panels and all that, then they have to do the second floor deck, put concrete. They have to put the roof deck, and then the roof on top of it. So during all that time, you're going to see the operations taking place. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Rodan Builders, and that'll be Rodan Builders and SBA.
Can you guys hear me? There we go. Trying to hear. My name's Dan Oliver. I'm with Rodan Builders. We're the design build general contractor. There we go. I know it's a little cold out here. I'll try to make this quick. But so what does that mean, design build contractor? That means we're the general contractor, and we teamed up with SVA and Project Frog for the design. SVA is the lead architect, and Project Frog designed this. It's kind of a unique project. It's almost like an IKEA building where you basically all the panels, a lot of the materials are fabricated off-site. It helps with the schedule. It helps with quality. And it allows us out here, we're basically just, the panels will go up quick. You'll see all these panels on the second floor will probably be up in the next 3 days, which is pretty sweet compared to a custom building, which you're out here building probably for the same second floor would take you weeks. So it's pretty sweet. Just wanted to touch a little bit on career paths. I thought it was kind of fun. When I was your age, I was looking in, a lot of times you think of construction, you think of all the guys working, but you forget about there's a whole nother side to the office. So on the field side, we're signatory to unions, and that's basically we're signatory to the carpenters union, the laborers union, the operators union. And what does all that mean? It basically means we got it allows us to get workforce out of the trades. We got carpenters working here today, we got laborers working today, and we got an operator working the crane. So if you want to get into the trade, it's actually a pretty sweet deal. Coming straight out of high school, you can go to the carpenters union, you could sign up. They'll set you up with a sweet, retirement package, a health benefit package. It's kind of that whole career path where if you enjoy being out in the field and you really like working outside every day, it's a pretty sweet gig. And compared to, say, if you work for, a lot of people ask me, well, how come I want to work with my dad or something, works in construction. And the unions, they'll take care of you. It's like a brotherhood. They got, like I said, the health package, the union package, they'll constantly looking for work for you, that type of thing. And if you want to be more in the office side, the more in the engineering side, the more behind the scenes, there's a whole nother side to that, which is pretty sweet. That's where we got into. There's a whole, as you see, many of us in the office side that are all behind the scenes dealing with, problems that come up on the field, details, all the design side, the engineering side, what size crane we should get out here. And I actually, to get into that field, there's Chico State, there's Cal Poly, there's all these great universities out there, the 4-year programs where they guide you through. And I have actually a lot of information on that. If anyone's interested, I can give it to Bob and if anyone else, but we can get tours set up through colleges, and we're looking for people coming out of physics and the math, and anybody that enjoys that, you're going to love engineering, and it's a pretty sweet deal. You're pretty much 50% in the office and 50% outside. So I highly recommend it. So with that, I'm going to introduce Nathan with SVA. He's going to talk more about the architecture side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. My name is Nathan Herrera with SVA Architects, and we are the lead architect for this project. And so I think everyone has a kind of basic idea of what an architect is. We're sort of in charge of designing the building and determining the layout of the building, what it looks like. But there's a sort of a whole technical side to architects that's not normally understood. And it's really that we're the lead of a really large design team composed of people in a lot of different disciplines. So for instance, on this project, we're working with Project Frog, who designed the modular system that the building is being built with. So as Dan mentioned, rather than being everything being assembled on site from individual 2x4s, it's getting built in pieces and then shipped on site to be assembled here. There's a structural engineer on the project on this part of the team, heavy science and math, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers in charge of keeping the building hot or cool, plumbing engineers, civil engineers who handle the grading of the site, the drainage, all of the utilities that hook up to the building. And so it's really a job that is kind of a great combination of the design sense and the artistic portion with coordinating and knowing a little bit about all those different elements that go into the design of the building. And it's a great kind of a combination of artistic and technical. And so, as everyone can see, as you're driving around the Bay Area, it's a great time to be in any one of the fields that are up today. The amount of construction in the greater Bay Area is great. And so, obviously, there's opportunities throughout contracting, any one of those engineering fields, and architecture. The architecture career path is usually going to university, either a 4-year college and then master's degree, or a lot of great programs that are 5-year combined professional bachelor's degree, and then everyone who's an architect, a licensed architect, has to go through sort of an apprenticeship program, working under a licensed architect, getting used to all the different parts of architecture, from doing initial designs, doing construction documents that say exactly how to build the building, and then actually being out and administering the construction projects and getting used to how the buildings go together. And that end of that process and several exams get you into being an architect, but it's a very rewarding field. I think a combination of artistry and technology, so highly recommend it. With that, I'll let some of the group from Project Frog come up and talk about their system a little bit.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Matthew Comber. I'm Director of Structural Engineering for Project Frog, and as a few of the folks ahead of me have already started to talk about, we designed the, we call it a componentized prefabricated building system that you see going up behind me here. So what does that mean, and where do we fit into the entire field of everybody involved in getting this project up and running and built for you guys? Well, so SVA was the architect and is the architect on this job. Where we come in, we're not only the structural engineers on the job, but we design the system. So if you think about it, like they've said before, an IKEA system or even a set of Legos, we basically design the Lego blocks themselves, and then SVA has done a great job basically putting those Legos together into a functional space for you, and we like to call it trick it out. So SVA are the guys that are going to make the building function the way it needs to function, make sure that you're safe in it, make it look aesthetically pleasing, and give you guys a great learning space. So the system that we have up here, Project Frog and SVA worked together on this air, light, and sound credo. So everything that you see going up here is designed with you guys in mind as the users of the space ultimately when you're in here learning. We want to make sure that you have a healthy, productive learning environment once this building is up and running. So we work very closely with SVA and a number of our other partners, making sure that the system is geared toward you guys, the end users, to make sure that you have a great learning space once it's all up and running. Some of these guys have talked about the panelized system. So just to elaborate on that a bit, what you see going up behind you, or behind me, is a very unique structural system. Typically this kind of a building, you'd see individual sticks of lumber, 2x4s, like crazy going up. There'd be saws running all over the place. You know, the job site would be much more expansive, and it would take a lot longer, months longer to construct. So what we've done is we've taken all those individual sticks and we've pre-built them into these panels very nearby, right over the hill here in Lodi actually is where this was fabricated. We've taken a lot of the risk, the job site risk, out of the equation. We've taken all of those saws off the job site. We've reduced the construction time, and so what all this adds up to is a much more higher quality building, less time, with less disruption to your classes going on here in the background, and ultimately it's a much more of a stretch of the taxpayer dollar for a higher quality end result. So we're really happy to be this part of this project, happy to partner with everybody over here. Who am I handing this back over to? We're wrapping up? Okay. All right, thanks everybody.
All right, I want to thank everyone for speaking today, and I want to thank you for attending this event. We will see you guys in a little bit. So go back to class now. Thank you very much.